Ah, I see we've got a bunch of people to talk to. Go confront Medusa or Aphrodite's party? Let's see. Let's talk to Freddy first.
Hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse?
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
So many choices.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a
Time to
rough
learn
time
about
since
Greek
those
mythology.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Do you know anything about the muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him?
Honestly, He's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
No thanks.
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? And all those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
They're
Okay.
like UFOs.
I have to hear this.
Okay,
Hello,
so you could
General.
have real evidence that UFOs exist and
for-
that governments have covered it
thank you
up
for
and
the care
people
package.
still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline. Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
You gotta pick one or the other.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
Alright, time to get out there and be Scooby-Doo.
back from your visit to the reliquary?
How did you know I was there?
Athena was ranting about it when I left her. She's none too pleased about you breaking the rules. Let's hope what you learned was worth it. Medusa was at the reliquary that night. You don't intend to confront her directly, do you?
You think I shouldn't? How else will I find out why she was there?
There's always a way, Grace. Asking someone directly isn't the only method. Still, while I hate to say it, confronting Medusa may be your best option.
You could come with me when I talk to her.
Trust me, if I'm anywhere within a mile, she'll have vanished by the time you so much as knock on her door. Just lie to me and say you'll be careful. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
In other words, that's a flat out no that she's not coming with me.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
And?
And if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
Are you willing to talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just...
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen. But Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love. That the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's funny how our perspectives change.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades. A conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
And that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him. Yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me. And Athena was furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder. and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
If you disliked the Muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred.
Wow.
She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in. Apollo was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus. Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
After you took Calliope in, that's when you became friends?
Well, no, not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club. Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element. She and I, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her. She was an idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols. Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many
Winning a bet
patrons.
for a nightclub.
They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. Man, it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you. But he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club. So I offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded, he would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far that hasn't happened.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. Was there something before her? How did she get her eidolon? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to, and our memories only stretch back so far. Anything beyond that simply isn't.
Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens. Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. Our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. That's what it feels like. All of us experienced it.
The gap.
Not one of us knows why or how.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around?
Oh, yes. That's where I'll be. Around.
Then we'll go talk to Aphrodite's party. Oh, hey, it's Apollo.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'm invited, aren't I?
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
Persephone said Aphrodite could help me and that she'd be grateful I came. That's it.
Persephone's not wrong, but that's not the entire story. You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No déjà vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
That's gotta be a lot of memories. She was, what, 1,000 years old?
More than that. Much more.
Then what happens to me in my piddly 20-something years? It can't be good.
So many
Eventually,
memories, your
it's like
brain
a flood.
explodes.
It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
Oh.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
in front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye. At least for a while.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war. And eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Wait. Persephone said Calliope always refused to come to these parties.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
Okay, so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What did she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling.
Okay.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Let's go talk to Eric.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Oh, big
Aphrodite will
hug.
be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to
don't
run
make him
upstairs and
sad.
demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
No, it's okay. It sounds like a bad situation.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know much about it, would you? I take care of Aphrodite. Ever since we came to the New World, I'm with her. Every single day. I'm there
That's
for the
gotta be
nightmares,
tough.
the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
And he just has to keep on going through it, like, each time it happens.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
If I knew what she was dealing with, I might be able to help.
Could you? I suppose it wouldn't hurt. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
That's a real big O.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
Wasn't he a smith of some kind? Giant hammer, lived in a mountain?
Some of that is mortal fancy, but yes. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her beyond reason. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like, suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to... well, to remember. To celebrate our history. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that, deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble. Piece by piece. Only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
that would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser. No. Not so far.
I should get back out there.
Here comes Aphrodite.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh! What manners I have! Grace, Grace! Meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus. And yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Hi. I have to admit, it'll be weird watching this happen the, proper way.
Because I'm chosen?
Yeah. I wasn't. Not like this, anyhow.
Hello, Chiffon. Welcome.
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I'm so
Am I
sorry.
trying out
That
a-
sounds awful.
Am I trying out a new hairstyle?
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later.
Yes, today
Now,
is just a lazy
we must
PMP
prepare for
stream.
my departure.
We are trying to finish up Stray Gods tonight, so hopefully we will. I hope you've been doing well.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is
sorry.
up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest
I hope that's better.
love.
I hope you can
Won't
hear
he
me
be-
a little bit better.
A little distracted.
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
If you are unfamiliar with this game, it came out more recently, in the beginning of August. It is a musical RPG based on Greek mythology. Oh, I'm sorry, the item throw. Hold on. The item throwing thing doesn't work because I don't have my model. Yeah. I'm sorry. Also, hi. Yeah. You can't hear me? Okay, hold on. Hi, Queen. I hope you can hear me. Yes. Yes, it is a fairly new game. Can you hear me now? Okay. You've been hearing okay? Alright. I'll just have to move my mic a little closer, I guess. Yeah, okay. I'll just turn this down a bit more. One sec. How's that? Is that better? Hold on. I think... there we go. I can go into my options and I will adjust the sound. What about that? Okay. Alright. How's that? Is that better? I'm just gonna...
I was hoping I could talk you out of
Is
it,
that better?
actually. Oh, forgive my saying so, but you seem fine.
I know sometimes I
It
try
might
to
seem
not
that
talk over
way.
the other audio.
Well, tell me,
so-
Grace, why should I let you try to talk me out of this?
Okay. Minor run-in with security? Uh-oh. I hope it wasn't anything too serious.
Because Eros loves you? Do you have any idea what this puts him through?
There we go. That's much better.
I do know. I wish I could convince dearest Eros to find his own way, but he refuses to leave my side. My pain is his pain. The respite I seek is as much his as it is mine. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go,
Anyway.
enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Get ready to learn a whole lot about Greek mythology in musical form.
I should apologize,
Alright.
Grace. Saying that I was chosen like I'm somehow more special, I really didn't mean it that way. I hope you can... I'm sorry. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Being a god isn't something you can really be ready for.
I mean, you are not gods, though. Are you? Not really.
You don't think so?
To me, you all just seem like people. Special people, sure, but flawed and lost, like the rest of us. If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happened? Do you feel different?
So basically, we play as Grace, who was like a musical theater audition person or whatever, and she's also in a band. And she basically became Calliope, the muse. Oops. And we are trying to solve the murder of Calliope.
I was so scared at the time, I didn't know what to think. I had no idea who Calliope really was.
You didn't remember anything?
Yes, and we're
About
supposed to solve it in a
her?
week before
Who
we
she
stand trial.
was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
This is supposed to be like...
That's it. Just like that.
Yeah.
I know
she came
looks
back
so
to the
out of
shelter a
place.
few times, but by
She wasn't
then, I
intending
guess
to
she's
come
taking
to
an
the party.
interest in me instead.
So, basically, this party is supposed to be a send-off for Aphrodite, passing off her godlike powers to this girl that we're talking to. In other words, Aphrodite is going to die and become reborn as another.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated
Yes.
to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
You probably need to get ready. I shouldn't keep you.
Oh, this is Lady Aphrodite's big night, not mine.
It'll be yours later, won't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess
Pretty
it will.
much. Let's see. We could talk to Apollo again, delay the inevitable, or begin the ritual. What do you guys think? Should we just get it over with? I just want to give Eros a big hug. Also, if you look over here, that's Eros. He's just standing over there being sad. He is sad boy.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here, to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided.
So it's time to bring on the music.
That happened. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise.
I'm just gonna turn that up for a second. Because she's really quiet. There we go. Yeah. Alright. What do we want to choose?
We were wrong. We were wrong. A so-called brother every
By the way, feel free to help me on decisions with the song choice, because whatever you pick alters the lyrics of the songs.
He became their dog of war. He denounced his loving family, and with mortal guns and greed, on a plate gladly delivered everything that war dogs need. He betrayed us and we let him, with them mortal souls.
It's still a very quiet song.
We thought we were untouchable. We were wrong. We were wrong.
Feelings!
Oh, the power of the idols pounds within your chest. But for now I am in mourning for a love gone unexpressed. He was harder than the chisel. I was a horrid block of ice. A winter's chill that's
More about the game sound. Yeah, it could be that.
He made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me. I can't believe what I'm hearing today. If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. I can't imagine. I feel like a child who grew up too fast. The goddess of love can't get past the past. What good is a flame when everything's ash? I can't imagine. There's no excuse,
but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know. You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
This really happened. I can't forgive, the river's too deep. Its reflection won't lie, so just let me sleep. I can't let go of what could have been.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment.
Mother, I've stood by your side, now I no longer see the purpose of love when it tears at the center of me.
Don't make him cry.
My arrows are rusty, forget the bow. And I won't be begging you not to go. But when you're away, you leave us a broken home. And you leave me alone, lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
Alright. What are we gonna tell her to do?
If anyone would know about the mysteries of love, you would know. Only you can decide. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a moment,
Lost in a moment.
Anything that's in the blue text has been like, I went with a more diplomatic way. So anything that's lit up in the blue text is like, it goes to her like persuasion, I guess. So anything that she says can be taken a bit more with the other characters depending on how you go.
Are you?
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I'm really sorry, Eros. I know you wanted me to convince Aphrodite to change her mind, but
It's all right. There's no convincing her, was there?
She didn't have the strength to fight any longer. At least, now she can rest.
I suppose that's true. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
nobody definite, no, but I've narrowed the list of who it could be.
What are your thoughts?
For one, it had to be someone who had access to the reliquary. too, it had to be someone who could do it right under the noses of Hecate and the Minotaur. Medusa was there, but I'm not sure she got inside. And are either of those things true for her?
Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why.
Of course.
She said
Thank
she
you for
had a
stopping by,
plan.
Chiffon. I hope you have a wonderful
Must have been
evening.
the reliquary.
Thank you for the hydrate.
She was frightened, so she knew this was gonna happen. It wasn't a surprise.
Unless she was talking about something else.
That seems unlikely, doesn't it?
If only we'd known how serious it was. I hate to say it, but Calliope was often quite dramatic. It's why Aphrodite loved her so much. I'm afraid I can't be much help, Grace. Few have access to the reliquary, and I have no idea even who they are.
Thank you. I will.
If Medusa was there, I'd suggest asking her how and why. Lady Aphrodite was always suspicious of her true motives.
Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
So, did they have anything helpful? Medusa. That's a rather dark name to unearth. Are you thinking of seeking her out?
Time to go see
I have
Medusa.
to. How else will I find out what she knows?
You need to be careful, Grace. Medusa is not to be toyed with. Athena employs her as a spy master. A hound to do her bidding. A vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What you said earlier about Calliope's memories coming back.
That wasn't how I wanted you to find out. I'm sorry. If I might suggest, speak with Persephone about it when you get a chance. It might be good for you.
You think she could help? Persephone?
Persephone and I have our problems, but I can't deny she is insightful. She'll surprise you.
I might do that. Thanks.
So, I have a question. I had an encounter with Pan before the gathering, and he spoke of you fondly. Am I
Oh no.
correct in believing there's something there?
Maybe? Yes? I don't know. It's confusing. And I think he likes that.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh.
Don't underestimate him. But also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. Well done, by the way. And cheers to you, Aphrodite. You shall be missed. For a few years, at least.
Still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. She's been in hell since the war. And you were only a visitor. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. but not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Oh, well, that sounds awful.
It was. Though not as awful as being his wife. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
Ooh.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be
Gonna be a little
facetious,
spicy.
Grace.
No, really.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
I know, right? No.
What he is incredibly frustrating and nothing at all like you.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now.
Oh, we get to hear Persephone sing now.
After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I, I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you. Something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago? Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages. So I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution, you and I, you and I. I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you are a queen, you're old, your dominion, and in my opinion, you're on the right track. It sounds like they heard you, defied or usurped you. It's time that you kick 'em right back. You've got one big mouth on you, don't you? Yet it's me who's closing in. Think I like that mouth
Ooh, spicy.
on you, won't you?
You've overstayed your welcome. Time to go home. Get out of here, Grace.
Persephone doesn't like me that much. Alright, let's go see Medusa.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone.
I don't know. I haven't
here
seen
now.
Medusa yet.
Just another day in the life of an idol. There you are.
Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed
Oh,
on
hey,
me.
there's Freddy.
Freddy?
What are you doing here?
Why
What,
did
you thought
she
I
bring a
wouldn't notice you
mace?
skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace.
Oh no. Maybe?
Freddie, please tell me you don't think you're some kind of adventurer.
I'm sorry. Are you not about to head into a monster's lair at great personal peril? What else would you call that?
You're such a dork. I adore you.
Good, because I'm not about to let you wander in there without backup. Who knows? Maybe the stuff I know about Medusa might actually apply. Well, that'd be a switch.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you know about Medusa?
Well, you know she was human once, right? And she was cursed.
Apollo mentioned it, yeah.
Cursed by Athena. Or so one of the stories goes, anyway.
But doesn't she work for Athena?
Hey, don't look at me. My knowledge of this stuff stops at a few thousand years ago.
Do you think she actually turns people to stone?
Let's hope not, or this could be a short visit. Or a really, really long one.
I'm serious!
Perseus used a mirror to reflect Medusa's gaze back at her. Oh, maybe you could use your phone.
You think that would work?
Unless you brought a mirror, Grace, it's all you got.
She was once human, but she's definitely a monster, right?
Yeah, one of the worst. But, you know, so was the Minotaur.
Astarion said she was scary. I have a feeling she's not like him.
Then I guess you need to be prepared for the possibility that she is as bad as the legends say. Though some of the stories also say that she was wronged by Athena, and that what was done to her was an injustice.
And Athena just follows the rules, right? Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
You have a plan for how we're getting inside, I hope?
Maybe. You're here to help?
Always.
Then I have a plan.
Alright, what do we want to do? Use a distraction? Find another way in? Or confront him? So many choices. So many choices. Distraction!
Hi, this is where the comic convention is, right? I hope I'm not too late for the signing.
Ma'am, I'm afraid you had the wrong address.
What? No. Oh, God. No. No, that can't be right. Do you understand the indignities that I have endured? The weird looks, the body odors? Someone spilled coffee all over my cosplay outfit. No, do not tell me that I got it wrong. I spent $50 on this ticket. I demand my personal photo.
Oh no.
What a long day.
Interesting.
In the light, such a long day. Dreaming of tonight, this sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna
Right?
I'm sure you can bite, okay, but you get a fight today. You're fighting Grace this time. And this time's mine. This time.
For centuries, these heroes got sent to me. Each one of them bent to me.
You're meant to be this time.
This time and all time.
'Cause this time's mine.
This time's mine. This time, just
This
like
time
every time,
is mine.
Now look into me. Your body glows freely every time as it tenders, turning gently as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. 'Cause this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood. Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some stakes. Oh, the ice thing. What a difference an actual monster makes. Murdering muses.
helps me relax.
I should sound out Athena about your naughty night snacks. Me and Athena need to touch base. I'll say what I've seen.
I'm getting quite keen to chew off that face. Now look into
Medusa, look into your own eyes. Okay, that's not gonna work on you. Well, let's get a proper view. I'm seeing a snake's hairdo, but you got that body too. Honestly, you look fine.
Stop trying.
This time.
Don't look at me.
If somebody says you're fine.
You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the fine ones you, the monsters, me.
Don't know, you don't
I
know.
do know that you didn't.
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace.
Don't you see, Medusa? You are just her tool. Your queen's a user. Your Athena's fool.
Slightly tougher.
She's a friend to
But
me.
you're really
We can get you free.
you said to me.
Persephone can get you free.
So free.
Is that a yes?
That's a maybe.
Maybe what? Did I miss something?
Is she
And here
serious?
comes Freddy.
That depends. What do you think, Medusa? Will you help me out?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena.
I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I agreed to help you. I speak the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have.
Uh-huh.
Well, what of Pan? The only reason I knew Calliope was going to the reliquary is because he informed me.
So much for never lying to me.
What were the odds, honestly?
Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster. It's true. I do not deny it. It's still, I did not kill the Muse.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
He killed Hecate's cat by accident. But this still seems hard to believe.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the Muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me. You haven't told Athena any of this? You agreed to help, remember?
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
No, I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her?
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the
Medusa,
reliquary
the
that eve,
super
I
spy.
followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the Muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
Let me guess, that made you hungry.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
I've told you everything I know. We have a bargain. You said my curse might be lifted.
Hey, I'll ask Persephone. That's all I can do.
Whatever you do, pretty Muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Whether I tell Athena depends. Have you done this before?
Well,
Don't you think Athena should know what her spy master is like?
No, she cannot. I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth...
Squeak.
I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
We got the achievement Snake Charmer.
He knew. Right from the start, Pan knew Calliope was there that night.
Yeah, and who could have foreseen that he was lying to you the entire time? Who, I ask you? A mystery even the Oracle couldn't have penetrated.
Yes, fine. You were right, Freddy. As always.
Ha! See, was that so hard? Anyhow, you probably have a few questions for Mr. Goatman. I'll see you at home.
I don't know who I want to pursue.
Would you really have tried to burn Medusa's face off? With an aerosol can?
Hell yeah! One hint of googly eyes and...
What would I do without you?
You'll never need to answer that question, Grace.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I told you I didn't know what happened to Calliope, and that's the truth. I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
I am going to take a quick break for a moment. Ow. Alright, we're back. Now, it's time to talk to Pan.
Why? Is there some reason you need to know what happened to Calliope?
Is that so strange? Don't we all desire justice?
You sent me to the reliquary because you wanted justice.
Medusa learned that Calliope was going to the reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Sold her out? She came to you for help, and you gave her whereabouts to the highest bidder.
I am trying to help, Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Then why don't you tell me right now? Let's go talk to Persephone.
Back again so soon, Grace? You're practically a regular at the club. Did you end up finding Medusa? Or did she vanish the moment you came near, like she does with every other idol?
She definitely did not vanish. Maybe I better explain what happened.
I knew it. We never should have brought that monster to the New World. Athena's a fool to think Medusa can be controlled. You're fortunate to have made it out in one piece. It could have gone very poorly for you.
You're right. I should have brought you to protect little defenseless me.
Aw. If I'd gone, you would have found nothing more than an empty building, I assure you.
Because you're so big and scary.
I'm glad you appreciate my finer qualities.
At any rate, Medusa might be in the clear. Pan, however, is not.
I don't imagine you've confronted him yet.
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
Nor I. Pan would do anything to save his own skin. Allow me some time to consider our next move. On a different matter, I've had time to do some thinking. After Aphrodite's party, we never really spoke about the Eidolon and Calliope's memories. No doubt you have many questions.
Apollo told me a little about it. He did say I should talk to you, though.
Did he now? Is there anything you'd like to ask?
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
First, you'll have dreams. Places you've never been, people you've
I'll
never
have
met.
dreams. Oh, hey,
But
that's
unlike
my
with normal
specialty.
dreams, these will linger. Then they will come while you're awake. Sudden flashes or snippets of deja vu. And sometimes it will seem so real you'll swear you're hallucinating. If there's anything difficult about the process, is that it becomes hard to differentiate between your life and all these other lives you're now recalling.
It does sound confusing.
Confusing and often unpleasant, as not all the memories will be fond ones. But that will pass in time.
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
We call it passing on. I've lost track of just how many times I've passed on my Eidolon. A dozen? It's happened less often in more recent eras.
And the one you told me about, the woman married to that gangster, she was the most recent?
I don't think of Chastity as a she. That was me, just as the one my husband blasted with a shotgun was also me. It was one of the few times I wasn't able to prepare my successor. We were friends, yes, but I didn't know what Persephone was, and I had no idea what I'd just become.
That must have been difficult.
It was more difficult taking over my dead husband's territory. Women weren't often mobsters in those days.
Were you really a gangster? I've heard it said, but it sounds...
Let me put it this way. I felt as if I'd been blessed by a dying woman who saved me from a prison of my own making. I didn't know what I was, but I was free. I felt more alive than I'd ever felt before, and strong enough to toss an ox 10 feet. Did I set out to become a mobster? Not exactly. My husband's friends thought I'd murdered him, however, so they came after me. And one thing led to another.
Oh, I see.
Athena found me just as my memories were starting to return. I wasn't permitted to continue doing something so noticeable, so I was carted off to Olympus. It's too bad, really. I was an excellent mobster.
Wait, you said that Persephone passed on her Eidolon as she lay dying. What if she had just died?
The Eidolon will keep us alive for a time, even in the most horrific circumstances, in hopes that there's someone to pass it on to.
What if there isn't? What if Chastity had died before you were shot?
Then the line of Persephone would have ended then and there. Oh, there are some stories that say an Eidolon will go wandering, that it never really dies. And who knows if there's any truth to that. It's not exactly something we've had the opportunity to study. All we know is that many idols have left us forever. They've died, and that's how it happens.
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Oh, how do I explain this? Grace, would you say that you are who you are because of your experiences? The things you've lived and done?
I guess so, sure.
Well, all the things Calliope has done, and those before her, will now be yours. They will feel like a part of your life as well. Thus, they can't help but shape you. The Grace that is now will be and will have done so much more. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with every memory. Each time the Eidolon passes on, the oldest memories fade, and that helps.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
Think of how old we are, Grace. If all those memories returned to you with perfect clarity, they would destroy you.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Well, far more than we remember. The further I think back, the more it becomes a bit of a blur, actually. You'll recall important moments. Some will be mixed up with the stories mortals tell, and you won't be sure which is the memory and which is the story. An idol's memory is a series of islands in a dark ocean, and they become smaller and smaller as they recede into the horizon. It sounds dire, but you become accustomed to it. It just takes time, and now you have all the time in the world.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Either the trial will end poorly, in which case all of this is moot, or it will end well, and you will have plenty of time to digest.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's the latter.
I'm a realist, Grace. It's what I'm best at. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
What's the deal between you and Apollo? The way you two fight.
I've told you how he and the other idols stood by and let me rot with Hades. Did I not?
It seems more personal than that.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did. Once. Not long after Hades kidnapped me. I was homesick. And I missed my mother. Corone took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there. Hades chased after me relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely nothing. Hades was thrilled. And I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything, ever again.
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
That's putting it mildly.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother?
Her name was Demeter. Not truly my mother, but an idol who had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. And Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. By bullets. Until that day, I believed we were untouchable.
Why would Ares do that? Did he get anything out of it in the end, or...?
What he got was a final death. A few of us hunted him down and made sure he paid for his betrayal. He choked on his own blood. As for why he did it, who knows? He thought us a lost cause. He wanted glory. He wanted more than we had, living in secret. After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat. We might have been gods once, but after the war, we were just refugees, like so many others, fleeing to a distant land.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never heard from her again. Apollo thrashed about in mourning, but Talia had been fading away for years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What about the other muse? Cleo?
Died long before. A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her eidolon shriveled up and perished. It was dead before she was.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
Yes, well, we come by our wariness of mortals honestly, Grace.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the New World? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear. We knew we were vulnerable. We knew mortals could and would kill us. Suddenly, there were rules. You know, we had to be secret. We had to stay close together. We huddled in the shadows and quaked each time the mortals so much as breathed in our direction. We couldn't all...
Uh-oh, look out, we're breathing in their
Some
direction.
of us drifted away, faded into the night without so much as an explanation. That's what's been the hard part. Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong. We can pass on our eidolons as often as we like, but it will never truly be home.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around?
Oh yes, that's where I'll be. Around.
Alright, I guess we should go back to the apartment. Day 5. Oh no, we've only got like 2 more days.
Oh, hi, Grace. I
Oh.
can just call you Grace, right?
It's Hermes.
That's my name. Where's Freddie?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
What, you and Freddie are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came
Fridge.
looking for you. Freddie has this movie that I've never seen. Super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends? Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that, ever. Can you imagine?
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any 2 doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Aw. Well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
Oh boy. Choose our next trait. Huh. Do we want to be charming or aggressive? It's so hard to make a choice. Let's go with this one.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
Take Athena head on.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized its off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Am I not supposed to be proving my innocence? Would you prefer I did nothing?
I'd prefer you didn't break any other rules in the meantime.
Such as? Do you have a list I can read, or do you just make them up as you go?
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Caring enough to just sit back and do everything else?
You care. About me? That's a laugh. You sit up here in your tower, and whatever humanity you might have once had, whatever wisdom, it's eroded away to nothing. The only thing you care about is making sure it doesn't all shatter. Not on your watch.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
But Hades deserved it.
I've heard most of that, sure. What does it have to do with me?
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Gave it to me. Athena, I had that key all along.
You what?
It's just like you thought. I used it to attack Calliope that night. Then I brought her back home to finish her off. A mortal with a plan, baby. Stole my way into godhood. Watch me roar.
That's not funny, Grace.
What's funny is that you thought I'd tell you without getting anything in return. What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Sort of. But I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
Is it true you can't remove her curse? Or is she just too useful?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do, exactly?
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know.
Wow.
Now, if there isn't anything else?
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
No thanks.
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
It was a bit much, dragging me into her office just to complain about the investigation she forced me into. What could she hope to achieve? That I'd stop trying?
Maybe she just wanted to find out what you know.
I imagine she simply wanted to remind you not to rock the boat as you bail. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh. What now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
Oh boy.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago,
Nope,
I would
no
have said
permission
breaking
here.
into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Astarion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
Oh, hell yeah, Persephone.
That's great to know, but I'll try not to make it necessary.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Hi, Cat. Welcome in. I hope you've been having a wonderful evening. We are finishing up with Stray Gods. So if you like Greek mythology and musicals, how am I? I'm doing all right. I've been really tired though. But I hope you've been well. And we will continue trying to get into this reliquary. Another distraction.
I must admit, the book is confusing.
You didn't like it?
I once knew a vampire. He did
You're
not
working on your
sparkle,
model
nor
and
would you have
vibing to
swooned in his
music? Hell
presence.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was meant to be taken that seriously.
Then I fail to understand the point. Do not worry. It is written that I am not alerted to Grace's presence for another 14 minutes.
Guess I'll keep talking then.
Okay, first part down. Now I finally get to see what the reliquary actually looks like.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? Don't wander
the
around.
Minotaur.
Labyrinths are kind of my thing, but you'll get lost. Also, are you supposed to be here?
Am I supposed to be here?
Look, you're right. I'm not. I'm sneaking into the reliquary.
No, that's a really, really bad answer. Kate will be so mad.
Look at it this way. This is your chance to repay me. I helped you when you needed it, didn't I?
Yeah, but I already helped you.
Just give me some time, please.
Please.
Well, all right, but be quick and don't touch anything. If Kate finds out...
We never spoke. Thank you. Thank you. They'll notice I didn't stay put and come after me. I don't think I have much time. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must
The
have been
Minotaur
here.
is baby.
She
Protect
stood in
him.
this very spot. Maybe if I just focus. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
Egg. Egg.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it? Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing. Is this an armory, too? What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right? Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am. I don't even know what language that is. it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I didn't mean anything. I didn't even touch it, honest. Okay then.
Alright. Maybe we should have grabbed the trident.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Oh no, they got their knives out. The Three Musketeers of Carmen Sandiego are after me.
Oh! Grace? Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming!
Oh no. Freddy, don't do it! No. Freddy, don't do it!
No, I won't let you!
No!
Freddy!
No! I fucked up.
Oh god. Oh god, Freddy!
By the gods.
You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
What? I'm so confused.
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself
Give me back Freddy!
Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
You're not just gonna leave her there. At least take her with you.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
Achievement unlocked. BFF moited. Yeah. Also, alright. Take care, cat. I'm going to cry now because we lost Freddy.
Her name is Freddy. Was Freddy. She was more than just my friend.
Yes, I see that. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Who could send the
And I
Furies
bet it was
after me?
Athena.
Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command. Or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey, from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
Can these fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged.
Guess
She's
who
threatened
showed
to
up?
close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Enough, both of you. This isn't helping anyone.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
In other words, just
But
walk
you
in there and
can't
take a
claim it
seat.
because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Okay. No need to keep selling me on it. I'm in.
You are?
Yeah. I need to punch something really hard. Or overthrow hell. I'm good with either of those things.
It's time to go take over hell.
You see, that is what a battle looks like.
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Our soul is in Hades.
Wait, what? Freddy's in Hades? What? Persephone, why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't want it to seem like I was playing on your sympathy, Grace.
But you'll play on mine. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
Shall
Hermes
I
just
wait
chilling.
here, or...
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
This is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
It's the only way to find out why Calliope was trying to contact the Fates.
The Fates?
There's something going on, Hermes. I'm at the edge of it, but without the Fates, I'll never know the truth.
And that means going to Hades, with or without Athena's permission.
Okay.
And just pops open the trunk.
Signal
Get
when you
in!
need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go. Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. The bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals, regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
Oof. And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
So there's gonna be a fight? Good. I need something to punch.
Don't get too excited, Grace. Orpheus is hardly a worthy foe.
Really? Even though he took your throne?
He took an empty throne after I left. That does not make him a king. Just someone else that's in my way.
In our way, you mean?
Yes, in our way.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come. It's time to cross the Styx.
All right. I'll get my boat ready.
The ferryman will come soon. As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
Hello there. He is really
I
big.
am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Caron, I did not bring you
Why
any
am I
cards.
sitting like
am
one of
not
those
here
French
to
girls?
entertain you.
Because I absolutely can. Hello, Archer. Welcome in. I hope you've been having a wonderful evening. We are finishing off the last bit of Stray Gods. So if you like Greek mythology and musicals, well, I hope you do.
Hey there! I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of
We are
course she's a
playing
muse.
as
Why would she
Grace,
lie about such a thing?
Who is... she has become one of the
He
muses,
says he's
like
always liked the
Calliope.
muses, and that you're
And
very
we're solving her murder. And we've only been given a week before we stand trial against
she
Athena.
didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Caron. Stop asking.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him.
Oh my god, he's adorable!
You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging.
Obviously he's bored. He's been rowing his boat for centuries.
Let's get underway, Caron. It's a long ride to the throne room. touch that. Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found alone. I destroyed Hades, but was denied his throne.
Ilia's dead here, isn't it?
Everything here is fading away. She needs
All right,
her
we get to
queen.
change the lyrics a
We're
bit.
here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me. A child in a garden, a prize for a king, property, bound and gagged with silver and satin. I gutted a god. This hell is mine. I won't let it be forgotten.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This
We're on our way to
bard's
punch
about
Orpheus.
To meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
You
coming.
better be ready.
A wolf is waiting in the tomb.
He's a master of his
Someone's
craft.
coming.
We have to take
I
back
can feel them howling at the
what
moon.
is mine.
Forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been. What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way.
Right?
Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Betty.
Oh my god,
Welcome
Betty!
to my underworld. Let me treat you to a song. A welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
Are you really that good?
Down. Loop it. I wouldn't say that I'm good. I wouldn't say that I'm great. I wouldn't say that my timing's perfect. I wouldn't say that I'm late.
But you can say that he's the
best that's ever been. The best you've ever seen. The best you've ever heard. And I haven't even really sung a single word.
I think I chose poorly.
Okay, just getting a gauge. Not your thing? Try again. Another request?
What's your problem with Persephone?
Dow, loop it. Dow. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
I beg your pardon. I wanna behave properly. It's not your song. You better stay open. She's a friend and a god. The throne is for me. I won't let it be forgotten.
Persephone, your part in this will never be forgotten.
The throne was stolen after I murdered the king. You should be grateful and thank me for everything. And yet you scream like a boy. You kick the ground. I was a slave.
Eurydice is gone because you did nothing.
Orpheus, there was nothing I could do.
I saw your whispers, poison behind your king.
Wasn't me.
If I cannot have my revenge, you're the next best thing.
His bark is louder than anyone's bite, and he's no match for your godly might. You're right, killing is so unbecoming.
That's never stopped you before.
I did what I had to, Bard.
As do I, my former queen. As do I. I never sleep now, and I never wake properly. He took everything, yet I'll never have justice. Now the music is gone.
It's all history. Why can't you let it be forgotten? Forgotten. 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 You didn't do what you were told, but you won't face the fact that you're to blame. And Persephone, you blew it. You must understand each other by now. All of this is getting kinda old. What a shame. There's the door, walk through it.
But I never got to have my revenge.
Our pain never ends.
Our pain never ends.
Orpheus, I promise you now, belatedly, I won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
We have been fools.
You're right. Yet, what about the throne? We can't just leave it empty, can we?
All that going around in circles, digging up old wounds, and for what? So you can fight over a chair.
We're gonna
There.
break the chair.
You dare.
I did.
What gives you the right to interfere in this manner? That throne was not yours to break.
Look around you, Persephone. Hades is empty. That chair you wanted so badly, it doesn't matter anymore.
It mattered to me. I paid for that throne with tears and blood, Grace. With years of humiliation you know nothing about. I thought we could help each other, but no. No, you would rather lecture me. So what's your plan now, Grace? I assume you must have one after that big demonstration.
You said Freddy was here, right? Then we should be able to find her. We just need to look.
Let's say you do. Okay, what then? You expect to walk out of Hades with her spirit in tow?
Why not? It would have worked for Orpheus if he hadn't looked back, right?
You don't get it, do you? There is no way to free someone from the land of the dead. Not for Orpheus, and certainly not for you.
And the Fates?
Even if you could contact them, Grace, I assure you, they simply wouldn't care.
Oh no.
That's it then. We came here for nothing.
I doubt the Fates would have responded even to the mirror, Grace. And the boundaries of death cannot be commanded away. Not even by the ruler of Hades.
Then what is this throne good for? Just a fancy chair? Bragging rights?
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
Hey. It's Freddy.
Freddy, you're here.
Yeah, I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
I do. I want to go back. I want it all to go back. It's not supposed to end like this.
This isn't the end. Hey, it's not by a long shot. You still have a whole story to finish.
Without you?
Yeah. Without me.
I don't want to.
Well, I don't blame you. I happen to be really good company.
No.
Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Oh, hey.
This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace. Idols don't...
Is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
I guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
We parted ways years ago. Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now. I miss them.
No, you don't. Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories
memories to cherish instead.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul. But if that's true, then...
The Eidolon is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the memories?
The memories are but a reflection. And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. That's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone.
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have. It's a long story.
You don't mean to say that Apollo is responsible for your death, right? But his prophecy is.
Yes. It said I needed to die.
Someone else knew about the prophecy. Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Of course it was Athena.
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but...
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could. If they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
I don't care. I have to know.
I need to know.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
You went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him. Just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
And you made it. For what it's worth, thank you.
You're thanking me?
You gave me a gift, Calliope. Everything that happened afterwards, it wasn't your fault.
Thank you for saying that, Grace. Truly.
Athena's gonna pay for this. She will pay.
She wanted to save the idols. And I wanted that too.
You weren't about to kill anyone to get it. Time to say goodbye, I guess.
So many years of history, fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go. I never truly saw before how trapped we were, so far from shore. Great at the time, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Deep within my soul, you will remain with me, a best friend through the dark. Gone, you're irreplaceable. It's time to go. It was quick and so was I was not prepared to die, but Grace, I choose this, and I know you'll get by. It's time. So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud, Grace.
Freddie, I gave everything to watch you go.
I know.
Now it's time to go.
It's time to go.
You've returned. And I see Freddie isn't with you. I'm so sorry, Grace. Did you at least get to speak to the Fates?
No.
Then what happened?
Then we found Calliope.
Calliope, but her Eidolon is inside you. How
It
could...
doesn't work like that. The Eidolon is only a part of an idol. The rest just...
Calliope told us what happened. The prophecy. How you warned her. How you've been lying to us. You knew. You knew the truth this entire time. Even when you said you were helping Grace.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Yes, I did.
You were trying to protect me, right? You didn't want me to share Calliope's fate?
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Then it's done. You're locked into it.
Isn't the prophecy open to interpretation? Couldn't you be wrong about how it ends?
When am I not wrong, Grace?
That's right. Leave. It's what you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. But if she believes you need to die in order to save the idols, if she truly believes that, it won't matter what anyone says.
Then I'll just have to stop her, won't I?
You want to challenge the leader of the chorus in front of everyone.
Of course I do.
She isn't giving me much of a choice.
Well, I dare say she has more of a fight in store for her than she would ever expect.
Is that a vote of confidence?
I intend to keep my promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great.
Before we go hit up Pan, and then we'll go take on Athena.
Oh, it's you. Paul comes in, mopier than his usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
This doesn't have anything to do with you, Oracle. Please don't get involved.
Oh, I am involved. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I live here, and Paul is my friend. Look, I'm not stupid. I don't buy into this god crap, but I know Paul and the rest of you are not on the right side of normal. Even so, Paul is a good guy. Leave him alone. He doesn't want to talk to you.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone, if you please.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
That side-eye, though.
I didn't mean for it to end up this way.
I know. It's okay, Apollo. You have to stop torturing yourself over this.
I wanted you to find out about Athena.
Yeah.
Without learning the prophecy. To be honest, I was relieved when you chose Persephone. Even though I was worried she might lead you astray. When I first became Apollo, I was so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings. You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it would be different.
You don't know everything, Apollo. Half the problem is that you and every other idol thinks they do.
What do you mean?
Trying to prevent the prophecy is what's making it come true.
So you want to, what? Stop trying?
Maybe.
I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
I hope that one day we'll be as close friends as you were with Calliope.
I guess all that remains is the trial. Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
I'm gonna hold you to that. Let's go see Pan.
Pan? Are you here? Pan!
Where are you, my dude?
All right then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
No, I, wanted to apologize.
Apologize? To me? Well...
For thinking you might be behind Calliope's murder. Turns out that's not the case.
Oh, then you've learned something, haven't you? Something not exactly pleasant. I see. Isn't that always the way? Tell you what, Grace. Let's indulge in one last transaction. Relay what you've learned, and I'll see if I have any advice to offer.
Okay, where do I begin?
Well, of course it was Athena.
Wait, you knew?
No, how could I?
So what now?
Let the prophecy play out.
Huh?
Let it play out. It doesn't say the last muse will die. Just that she must for the idols to continue. Perhaps the idols shouldn't continue. Seems reasonable enough.
Just let them die.
I doubt Athena would agree. Or many of the other idols, for that matter.
Yes, well, if history says anything about the idols, it's that we're a bunch of reactionaries who make poor decisions. Frankly,
Let's
change
make poor
is long overdue.
decisions.
Continuing on as we have been isn't appealing, and I doubt I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm rather looking forward to the trial now. How exciting.
All right. Go talk to Persephone.
Did you forget something, Grace?
It felt like we hadn't quite finished our conversation.
It seemed pretty finished to me. What more is there to discuss?
How about us?
You still think there's an us? After you kept me from my throne?
I did what needed doing. I figured you, of anyone, would be impressed by that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. It's not me you're angry at anyhow, is it?
Annoyingly, you're right. I'm should be angry at. I drove Calliope away. I wasted all that time being stubborn. And now she's gone.
That's why you pulled away from me, isn't it? At the club. You look at me and see her. Even after Hades.
It's not that simple, Grace.
So what is it then? Tell me.
I don't know if I can do this. Us.
That's the first time you've admitted there even is an us.
I keep wondering, do I like you because of you? Or because Calliope is a part of you? As you gain her memories, will you become more and more like her? Will you think of me as she did? You deserve more than that, Grace. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted no part of it.
And what if I still want this? Us? What then?
I'd say you were a glutton for punishment. Is it any easier out there? Do you miss being immortal, Grace?
Eventually I will. I'll always wonder what I might have become.
I never gave it a second thought before. Now I wonder.
So this is it. All your new friends have lied to you, but somehow they're gonna get you through the trial, right? I wish Freddy were here.
Freddy.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. I'll embrace the fire as it burns deep inside, bright enough to guide me, an ocean defied. But as I burn, they've all turned away one by one. In the end, am I alone? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, no breeze. I am drifting cold water, no star to
we go. Hello?
First we're gonna punch her, and then we're gonna take all the cookies.
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already
Uh-oh.
waiting for you on Olympus.
I thought this was Olympus.
Not this office building. My word, no. Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
Is this a real place?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing. Let's begin, shall we? Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We few who remain fled to this new land to escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
Extreme measures, such as murder. Would you sacrifice idols to save them, Athena? Seems counterproductive, doesn't it?
It is not unknown for a physician to cut off a limb in order to save the patient.
Oh, that's what you are? The heroic doctor, out to heal the poor, sick idols?
I am trying to save us! I will do anything and everything in my power and beyond to save us from extinction.
You'll do anything? Tell them. Let them know what that anything includes. Tell them about the prophecy Apollo gave you, and how you've interpreted it. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
We spoke to Calliope in Hades. She told us how you sent the Furies after her.
You couldn't have.
Yes, I could. There's more to an idol than just the eidolon. Maybe you even knew that once, but you've forgotten it. Just like all the idols have. You don't know everything, Athena.
No. I do not accept this. You are lying.
You're the one who's been lying. Or would you like to explain to the idols how you murdered Calliope based on a vague prophecy? Tell them.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see? It had to be. turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry hooray once it's on the dish. That's how we do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you. I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do. All I ever did, all the sacrifice, all I ever hid, trying to be nice, everything for you. But in any case, I always knew you'd throw it in my face. You're so controlling. Sorry, little bird, time to wring your necks. Little girls, they dream up a future. They're sure how they feel, sure their vision's true. I fought for that throne and then didn't take it. And that was okay. Could it be for you too? Of course you would make it all about you. Still, Athena, I'm glad you were here to see how someone grew. None of you see. So it's down to me. It's fine. I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all? You just see a scrap. You wanna make the call. You need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time for you and all who stand with you. Yes, you too. Form a queue. Time to follow through. This lost little girl, she's got a few tricks now. She's taken some punches, she's made some friends. Here's 3 more little friends. Meet the Fury. Yeah, we've met. Nice to see you. Though that's a brave face, we all know how this ends. Such cute pets, I'll take this. We all know how this ends.
I didn't know how lost I was until you found me.
Aphrodite, she'd stand with grace too. Grace showed her mercy when she didn't have to show mercy.
Really? Pan, you?
The way I see it, if you have to take grace, then you definitely have to take me.
Of course, it's me. Because of me, this prophecy.
We're all chopping onions.
My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at her stranger just how long has she been in flames? You can talk about your journey, honey, I don't care. The only thing that matters is you put yourself there. There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is.
Oh, we could punch her.
I'll leave it up to you what to do with this.
Do I want to punch her? I kind of do. Oh!
That's for me. And this, Calliope. Now we're done. Say bye to everyone. You're off to take a new exciting role in some dark hole. There you go. Now it's yours to drive. Let's see how long you stay alive.
Now what?
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And? So you're in charge now, I'm guessing.
For the moment, but it appears
Right?
we're about to have a repeat of what happened in Hades.
What does that mean?
It means we are disbanding the chorus. Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal world.
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
It won't be right away, so those who are too fearful can go into hiding. But it's time. No more laws, no more secrets.
What about Athena? Is she gonna stay gone, or...?
As far as we can tell, yes.
Her things were already gone when we returned to Olympus. She didn't even ask Hermes for transportation elsewhere.
Good.
If she did return, I wouldn't worry. Athena can never be to us what she was before. That's over.
You all agreed to this? No argument?
No argument? Grace, you know us. We cannot order lunch without a good argument.
Wasn't it you, Grace, who said we should stop living in the past?
Well, sure, but I didn't think you were listening.
What can I say? I'm trying something different. Plus, this is what Calliope was fighting for.
Calliope would definitely approve.
If there's no chorus, does that mean idols just do whatever they want?
As much as anyone can.
What about Medusa? I hate to think what she's gonna do.
Medusa has offered to live in the reliquary. Frankly,
as for the rest of us, we'll be subject to mortal authorities and their laws.
Assuming they don't just round us up the moment they realize what we are.
Quite so.
I have a few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
Oh?
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
A campaign? You make it sound like preparing for battle.
It is, kinda. The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a marvelous idea indeed. I'd like a moment alone with Grace. Well, you did it, Grace. The trial has come and gone, and you're still standing.
And fulfilled the prophecy while I was at it.
Fulfilled it? Haven't we prevented it?
I'm the last muse. It was my trial. Now what's happening to the idols because of it?
We're no longer continuing. Not as we were. Yes, I see.
Athena couldn't conceive of a change that didn't mean death for the idols. But here we are.
When we last spoke, you told me you wanted things to continue between us. Now that things are finally resolved, I understand if you feel differently.
When we met, you said you'd help me. To a point.
I did.
And then at the trial, you stood by me. Even when Athena said she'd kill anyone beside me.
I wasn't gonna lose you two, whatever it took.
Then I can safely say, I don't feel any differently.
Ready to go out and face the music, Grace?
Always.
Weird fridge. Hello?
Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
How does it feel to be the idol spokesperson, appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress. She records every appearance, every interview. She may be your biggest fan.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
I heard Eros and Venus left the city together. Was that right?
You heard correctly.
No.
Venus wanted to use her fame to do good works as an activist, and Eros is assisting her.
Let's be realistic. He's there to catch her when her efforts inevitably implode.
You're being uncharitable, sister. I was at one of Venus's rallies, and it was rather invigorating.
Aphrodite always did love being adored by the masses.
Well, at any rate, Eros sounded keen. He thinks this is a much better approach than wallowing in Olympus.
You mean he's glad to have time to pursue a new lover or two?
Who could blame him?
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Hell yeah.
Is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess? I do not.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually break up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She's staying with me, for now. You did promise my help with her curse, if you recall.
Oh, how's that going?
Better than I might have expected. I have a few old friends who owe me favors, and they're making headway. Medusa is positively giddy at the prospect. She offered to help manage the underworld as repayment, which I can't say I mind.
Hopefully she doesn't turn it into her personal buffet.
Not if she wants her curse broken. We have an understanding.
It's kind of you to take such a chance, sister.
Oh, I'm used to handling the odd snake. Frankly, we owe her the opportunity to try.
I'd like to know what you've been up to, Persephone.
I've been thinking about selling the club, actually.
The underworld? Really?
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither.
Plus, she's been busy helping all the idols remaining at Olympus. Quite unexpected.
Why is it unexpected? I was the last leader of the chorus. This is my responsibility. Also, I wanted to free up some of my time. For you, Grace.
For me?
You've been on the road single-handedly keeping the idols afloat. I thought you could use some company.
Being away from you so much has been the hardest part.
Right?
I love that.
And you were worried how she'd react.
I wasn't worried, I was concerned. Anyhow, I'm glad you agree. It'll be good to try something new again.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you don't need to keep doing that.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
You know, one day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I was having her followed for a time. After the idols went public, however, she vanished off the map completely.
You had Athena followed?
Well, you're far more trusting than I, brother. We can't count on Athena laying low forever now that the song is over. Last I heard, she was heading back to the old country. On a ship, like it was the 19th century. Why? I have no idea.
If I had to guess, I imagine she went in search of Zeus.
Whoa. Could he even be found?
If Zeus is out there, Athena will find him. If she does, I guarantee we haven't seen the last of her.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low. At least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Oh, I didn't do that.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Perhaps a round of drinks at the underworld. in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
Apollo, perhaps we could meet you there?
Yeah, of course. I'll go on ahead.
I have something I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah?
Spicy.
Moving forward often comes with heartbreak, leaving the fears you nested in. Take your broken pieces and assemble a life that you are proud to live. We stayed your execution, you and I, you and I. I was queen of the underworld, and you, Grace. You've shown me that I'm not all I can be, a light to lead the way from hell. Darling, when you dare to defy me, God's the fire within me swells. You and I, Grace, together victorious. There's nothing to stop us now.